At this point, everybody knows who Destiny is, and Destiny is known as being one of the most inflammatory people on the left. He was on Piers Morgan yesterday, I believe. It was yesterday or the day before. And they were talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination. And Destiny basically said, this is what you get, because it's the right that needs to tell their people to tone it down. The right that need to tell their people to cool it because they're being too crazy. He said, you have had 10 years of Donald Trump, and this is what you get. He went on to bring up that, the biggest protests in the history of the country, they've taken place under Donald Trump. Why is that? And who was doing the protesting? Well, it was the left. It was the left protesting, and we know this. And not that they're not allowed to, because they are. But to say, give up, let our guy win, or we're going to have violent protests and more of yours will be killed. That is the subtext. That is what he was saying. That's what he was implying. That is the way that he thinks. Because you remember Destiny, the one that, made fun of when Trump was, the Trump assassination attempts, which he's fully allowed to do. He has freedom of speech. Destiny, the one that bought flags just so that he could fly them at full mast instead of at half mast in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death. Destiny that was incessantly mocking the death of Charlie Kirk online. Now, I was not a fan of Charlie Kirk. I don't particularly care for the guy. I think he used a lot of sophistry and deflection, and I didn't like his style of debating. It was very internet-esque, and you can call me whatever you want for that. I don't really care. But he didn't deserve what he had coming. What happened to him. It wasn't what he had coming, as they would have you believe. And for Destiny to say, essentially, vote our people in, or else. That is what he was saying, by the way. Destiny was saying, you guys voted in Donald Trump. This is what you get. Well, Destiny, what do we do then? Do we just abandon the things that we believe and vote for your person to avoid being shot? To avoid people on the conservative side being shot? Is that what we do? Because that sounds like terrorism to me, Destiny. That is, in fact, terrorism. And after the appearance on Piers Morgan, Destiny went on to make a video where he said, until the right says that goes to their people and tells them to cool it, then they can just expect that more of this is going to happen. I'm paraphrasing, but this is essentially what he said. And you can fact check me if you like. Go get on Destiny's Twitter. Essentially says these things are evil. People that disagree with him are evil. People whose political opinions differ from his are the problem. They're evil, and they deserve to die if they disagree with him. He essentially says those things. You go listen to Destiny talk. Go watch that Piers Morgan clip. And there's a lot of support for him. I've met quite a few people in my own life that agree with that take and agree with, this is where the political discourse is. And it feels like we're kind of hung up now. Last week there were 2 politically motivated killings by people that align themselves with the left. And, one was the murder of the Irina, I'm sorry, I'm losing her last name, but on the subway in Charlotte, and the other was Charlie Kirk. And the left has done nothing but deflect from this. I saw a video yesterday of someone saying, it's Politics Girl on TikTok, saying that, there were no political markings on the bullets. It was just the manufacturer's stamp. Bullshit. That's a lie. Everyone knows that's a lie. If you watch the initial press conference, you know that's a lie. They read what was written on the bullets, and they were very evidently left-aligned, Antifa-aligned, political messages. Bella Ciao, for example. Speaking of, the people that were storming the vigils, I mean, I didn't participate in the vigils. I don't really believe in that sort of thing. But everyone, and I think there is a lot of dishonesty in the mourning that people are doing. A lot of them are making it about themselves. But all of that aside, the people that walked by singing Bella Ciao Ciao to at the vigils are despicable, just evil people. And that happened across the country. It is amazing to me that this is where we are. It is amazing to me that someone like Destiny, with the platform that he has, would say such a thing as agree with us or be afraid to be killed. I mean, I disagree with Steven Crowder, Ben Shapiro, Tim Pool, these big names, Michael Knowles, Matt Walsh, all of these big right-wing figures. I don't agree with them. And I know that Tim Pool would say I'm not right-wing, and sure, whatever. He's been lumped in with the right-wingers, all of this time, so whatever. I probably am closer to Tim Pool's stance than the others, but I think I'm maybe even to the left of Tim Pool. I don't know. I'm not a Christian. I don't call myself conservative, and I hold a lot of values that conservatives dislike. But I will tell you that, these people are now bringing armed guards with them everywhere they go. Their level of fear has just escalated. And it is because the people on the left have shown that they're willing to be violent, which is what Destiny says, by the way. In the same breath as he says the conservatives need to tone it down, he says, if you don't, we're going to continue with violent protests and people are going to keep getting shot. Like, this is ridiculous. This is not even, the cognitive dissonance is astounding. So it's so in the open now. It's a terrifying thing. In addition to that, hey, gold hit an all-time high today. Silver is climbing. People are, the whispers of a recession are getting louder and louder. Things are about to get really, really crazy, and I really hope that it's not as crazy as I think it's going to be. But protect yourself and your family first. That's about it. See ya.